Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. That topic is Sunday Secrets 8, answering listeners' OnlyFans questions. Okay, so I am once again answering listeners' OnlyFans questions this week. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone for supporting this podcast, as we've had a staggering 10,000 downloads of the podcast so far in March. And that's just so many episodes. And I really just appreciate everyone who listens every single day to the podcast and continues to support it. I've gotten so many great messages from people saying that, it's helped them from a marketing standpoint, especially people who are new to OnlyFans who don't have a lot of resources. So I just really appreciate everyone listening. All right, now on to the questions. A listener from New York asks, I keep hearing about NFTs all of the time. Is this something that OnlyFans creators can profit from? Okay, so NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and they come from pretty much the crypto craze, but they are their own thing unto themselves. So I would say yes, I definitely see a future where content creators will be able to take pictures or other media with limited quantity, and the tokens would allow you to profit. So what happens here is that anything that you're creating as an OnlyFans content creator definitely can be seen as art. It can be seen as something unique. What you're creating is something that you can sell, and you definitely can do it in limited amounts, and then basically have the tokens that will allow people to get more limited access to you. Now, obviously, people who are more famous, they are going to be able to come up with things that allow exclusivity, but definitely as an OnlyFans creator, you are someone who has fans, you are someone who has influence, so you're going to be able to use these tokens to give status to your most ardent supporters, which I think is great. But it's also going to allow you to control your content. So if you create something as an NFT, you can put information in what's known as meta information inside of the NFT that basically says, if someone resells this, you can get a certain percentage, of the sale. So if someone takes one of your pictures and, sells it to somebody else, you can say, hey, I'm going to get 30% of that. So basically you're controlling that content in a way that you have not been able to do before, in a more legal way. So people who want to transfer these limited amounts of creations that you've made, you're going to have more control over that. And I do hope that OnlyFans itself embraces NFTs. You never know if they will or not, but as an OnlyFans creator and as someone who creates content, and as we've gone over, people sell custom content all the time, that you definitely want to look into this and make yourself aware of NFTs, because they are something that could allow OnlyFans creators to really control the content that they're making in ways that you're not able to at the moment. Okay, so a listener in Knoxville, Tennessee asks, do you have any tips on getting through all the noise in someone's OnlyFans inbox? Okay, so as we've gone over, first, never send mass DMs. No one is going to end up reading them. It just creates a whole bunch of clutter and spam. And, this is the biggest problem, where people can't see other people's messages because there's so many mass DMs going out. So, you want to also never send a picture, even in an individualized DM, because it's just going to look like a mass DM to someone you've sent it to. So you could take your time and customize something, and now they're not opening it up because they see the picture and they make the assumption. This is the same thing I talked about in a previous episode about Twitter. The same thing, don't include a link when DMing someone in Twitter, because it just appears to be spam and they won't end up opening it up. Same thing for pictures within OnlyFans itself. And, also there's a tip to start the message with the username. So whatever username that you're trying to talk to, you want to start the message that way. They're more likely to see that and get an alert for it. And I overall just prefer comments in your comment sections of your posts. If someone makes the comment to you in that way, when you reply back to them, they are definitely more likely to get an alert that you have or to check back on it. So this is a great way. Yes, it does mean that they have to reach out to you first, which means you can't necessarily get those people who aren't willing to get into your comments, which is a pain. But if you maximize those people who do talk to you in your comment sections and let them know, hey, I'm going to DM you, it's more likely that you're going to end up with engagement in that way. Okay, great. So a listener in Boise, Idaho asks, are there any incentives that don't break OnlyFans rules to incentivize likes? Okay, so yes, you definitely can tell someone, hey, like this post and you will get some sort of incentive. So the way that a lot of people do it is they say, like all the posts on my page and I'll send you a free picture or a free video or some sort of, free prize, etc. Or when you post something, like this post and I'll send you an alternate version or a better version or some other picture. I would definitely put that in the post. So if you really wanted a lot of likes on a particular post, I'd write in the text section, hey, I'll send you something in your DMs if you like this post. That's going to make people a lot more likely to take action, especially if you're a new creator. It's going to get you some of those initial likes that you're hoping for, that will show your page to be popular. And as I've gone over before, at a point, there's diminishing return on likes, so you really shouldn't obsess so much on likes. Once you've gotten a few thousand, you should be concentrating more on, getting back to those people who comment or creating messages and pictures that will get engagement. Okay, great. So a listener in Abilene, Texas asks, are there any rules against deleting posts on Reddit and posting them again? Can that get you banned from subreddits? Well, yes. It really depends on the Reddit's moderator. So much as we've gone over in our Reddit episodes, moderators really control those subreddits. So they might not even have rules against deleting and posting again, and then they can still ban you or put, a 15-day or 30-day ban on you for, posting and then deleting. Here's my thought process. There's so many different subreddits that it's worth it to delete and post on a lot of them, and the amount of people who are actually, from a moderator standpoint, going to come clamp down on you isn't a lot. So it's better, as always, to post as much as you can on Reddit and be seen than to worry about the occasional moderator who's going to ban you. But definitely you don't want too many of your posts just hanging out there, especially because it, can end up in your profile. So, there's a lot of people who believe in the delete and post technique for Reddit. I believe in the technique of posting as much as you can in the most diverse amount of subreddits as you can. But yes, you can get yourself, quote unquote, banned from a subreddit for deleting. But again, I would not worry about that. There are hundreds of them, and I would think, okay, well, if I go through and I do this, one or two of them might clamp down on me. But there's no rules on Reddit itself that says that you can't do that. Okay, great. So a listener in San Jose, California asks, I enjoyed your podcast on subreddits, but I was asked to be in a Reddit upvote group. Do you advise that? Okay, so I guess this is very similar to, Twitter retweet groups and I went over, in the last episode about Twitter, that I didn't feel that those really were that beneficial. I would have to say the same thing for Reddit upvote groups. The amount of people, once you get a really hot post, that you would need to get, your post seen is a lot. So no, I simply would, it would take a lot of time as well for you as a creator to stay in these groups and go and upvote all these different people. It's a very different ecosystem on Reddit than even on Twitter, where on Twitter, as I mentioned, very active OnlyFans community of creators, where on Reddit, the majority of the people are actual, possible subscribers or people who are just looking to upvote pretty pictures of people. So it's a little different of an ecosystem. So it would be like, you can't make as much of a difference, in that regard, as a creator group. So, even if it was working, I still wouldn't say it would work that well enough for you to be spending your time upvoting other people's posts. So I definitely think the numbers are too huge on Reddit for you really to concern yourself too much about that. So I would advise just post as much as you can on Reddit and hope for the best as far as your upvotes are concerned. All right, a listener in Tuscaloosa, Alabama asks, what happens if I want to phase out my OnlyFans page? How should I do that? Okay, so there are a couple different techniques that people have. Some are a little more nefarious than others. Certainly people will say to put your subscription price as high as you can and hope that people just will go away, that they don't want to pay, $49.95 for your subscription, that kind of thing. I feel there's better ways of doing that. I think that you should basically go back through, if you really are planning on, you don't have the time for OnlyFans anymore, I would go through, delete all your too good to be free content that's on the site that you've made over however long you've been on OnlyFans. I would then make the account free, and I would create bundles within the account now, the free account, for your previous content. Now you can make money selling the content in bundles, as, paywall material without any work. So you no longer have to really do anything else. You don't have to take any more pictures. You don't have to create any more content. And you don't have to put the time in that you have, but you'll still be on the site and you'll still be leaving yourself an opportunity to make money. So, unless you just really, really don't want to be on OnlyFans anymore and there's some reason from a privacy standpoint or for some other reason that you just want the account just, to have disappeared, I would say, keep it up. It's a lot less stress than running the account, but, you give yourself that possibility of some extra income. All right, so that was Sunday Secrets 8, answering listeners' OnlyFans questions. I hope you enjoyed that episode. And again, my name is Richard Lewis. I am the founder of OnlyFans Hero and the Learn OnlyFans Marketing 101 course on Udemy. You can find this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can also find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets, a marketing community on there, as well as on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFans Hero, where you can subscribe for free to us on there, get the latest updates on this podcast. We are also on TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast, as well as always being on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we run hourly free promotions for creators. And we continue to grow by 500 plus followers every day, both subscribers and creators. So please hop on there and take advantage of those free posts. And as well, you can reach out to me directly at OnlyFans Hero if you have any questions about this podcast, any questions